that was the presentation thing. Wednesday, March 11th at 2 p.m. And 7 o'clock is zero and cancel. Zero. $80. No, right, yeah.
Yes. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act, the Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, March 11th, 7 p.m. A notice of intent filed by Bugsy LLC for a senior housing community consisting of 8 proposed duplexes, 16 units within 200 feet, within the 200-foot riverfront area, 0 Mechanic Street.
So, for the record, my name is Travis Brown with Turning Point Engineering. I'm just going to put up a plan here. So I am representing the applicant Bugsy LLC. So this is a proposed 16-unit senior housing development. Address is 0 Mechanic Street at this point. So those of you that may be familiar with the house at 15 West Main, which is the old farmhouse, work is being done on that area of the site. This is a different area of the site, northern portion of the site. Just for reference, north is straight up on this plan. Mechanic Street is here on the eastern side. Here's the proposed work area. And on the western portion of the site, kind of straddling the property line, would be this perennial stream here. The wetlands were delineated by Goddard Consulting in August of 2024. The mean annual high water for the stream was delineated on the project side. That actually goes down. That goes down to Baker Pond, which I have on another sheet we can talk about. So that stream eventually ends within the wetland, within the BVW. I know there was some question on kind of that delineation, where that ends. We can talk about that, but it's clearly depicted on USGS maps as well as aerial photography. So I don't think there's any question where that is. Goddard flagged it in the same area. All that information seems to be consistent, but we can discuss that, like I said. So as I mentioned, 16-unit duplex style. The access road would be here, come up to a cul-de-sac. You'd have 3 buildings on this left side, 5 buildings on this right side. Working with the existing grades as best we can. These units would be walkout, kind of fits with the grade. This is high in the back, kind of slopes down to the road. These areas here would be slab on grade units. All of the work that's being proposed is generally at the top of the slope, being the perennial stream, the 100-foot riverfront. All work is outside of that. There is some work between the 100 and the 200. That equals about 8.7%. Our DEP regulations were allowed up to 10%. So we're under that. I would just note that doesn't include the stormwater features, which DEP allows you to exempt from those calculations. This site is in well-drained soils area, mapped A soils. Done a bunch of soil testing on site, confirmed that those soils are very good, highly conducive to infiltrating stormwater, infiltrating sewage disposal, which we would have. Stormwater system is designed so that nothing leaves the site, meaning everything is infiltrated on site. There's no flow from this basin towards Mechanic Street. There's no flow from this basin towards the stream. By nature, we have to meet stormwater management standards. Virtually nothing leaves the site in pre-development conditions. We need to match those in the post-development conditions. So that's what we've done. This project is being permitted through planning. I haven't been to that board yet. They are sending it out for peer review. One thing they will look at and verify is stormwater management that we're in compliance with. So this project will have public water. There's public water available on Mechanic Street. There will be 2 shared septic systems in this location here. That will serve all of the units. From a conservation perspective, the majority of this work is outside of any buffer zone. There's a little bit, I did put together this graphic, so between the 0 and the 50-foot wetland buffer, 0 disturbance. From the 50 to 100-foot wetland buffer, there's 8,500, very minimal, given the scope of the project. We are disturbing, as I mentioned, riverfront area, in compliance with DEP regulations. Another thing that I should note is this is within an ACEC, so an area of environmental concern. What that means is we need to now treat 1 inch of stormwater runoff on site, which we've done. Those are shown in the stormwater calculations. Most of the work, again, is outside of also a zone 2 that falls on this property that essentially runs through here. Zone 2 is on this side of that line, so the portion of work that would be in it is this small portion here. So, you know, just a little bit of that building and the back of these 3 buildings. Stormwater is designed in compliance to meet zone 2. Again, just treating 1 inch of runoff, meeting TSS removal requirements as well. There's about just under 6 acres of total disturbance, so about 40% of the total lot. So I think we've done a pretty good job of maintaining perimeter around it for screening for abutters, which isn't necessarily the purview of this board, but also for conservation. So wetland down here, not touching anything there, not touching within 100 feet of the stream. And then there is an area that goes off the page to the north that actually abuts town of Upton land as well. One thing we discussed preliminarily with the planning board was maybe providing a trail to that parcel. Nobody on that board really was familiar with that parcel, and if there's trails on it now, but something to think about as we kind of navigate through permitting. It's a, you know, positive benefit to having a trail network. That's the gist of it. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Maria, what are your comments?
Great, so I did not do a staff review of this one because we had decided at the last meeting to send this off to peer review. Peer review, kind of waiting to start that. He couldn't get out there till the snow melted anyway. So we were just kind of waiting for this meeting to talk that over with Travis, and we have the quote from him. We're just waiting for a signature from us. This project's in riverfront area. I had some concerns about the delineation, as we talked about last week. It's I think in my mind, it's a little tricky to delineate with just the mean annual high water. I've seen other people put the mean annual high water like kind of further out. So I just wanted to have those edges checked. That was kind of my main concern. So. And I know this is not on planning board until April 14th or something, so we have time. DEP has yet to put together any comments as well. The peer reviewer, he said he could definitely get it done April 14th.
Just so I know, Mary, what is the scope of his review? Is it just delineation of the?
Well, he was
stream?
asking me that. I mean, the estimate that he sent me, I had him just estimate for everything, including, reviewing the NOI and, reviewing the wetland lines, NOI, et cetera. He wouldn't be looking at the stormwater, of course, because anyone was doing that.
Right.
Yeah. So he would just be reviewing the wetland side of it.
Did you get all your fingerprints back?
Yes, I gave them to Mary, the ones that came in so far. There's a lot of them. It's a pretty big list.
Can you point out again where you're near the wetlands?
Yeah, so the closest point so there's a couple of things. I'll go into riverfront after, but to the actual wetland line. So here's this red line here is the 100-foot buffer. So the only areas within the 100-foot buffer is this little area here, than this little area here. So the area within the riverfront, which is this thicker blue line. So this is within 200-foot riverfront, but below the 10%.
And where is the town property?
So the town property, let me see.
Yeah, it's Pixie Park or
It's off of Meadow Drive.
Yeah.
That little peak spot.
Right, yeah, it's this piece here that touches down here and then it comes over. I believe it comes to here,
yeah.
so that piece. And like I say, I don't know if there's trails on it, I don't know if there's access.
It's just
Do
a
it or
no
little
trail.
embankment.
No trails that be maintained. I mean,
Mike, do you have a sense if
That's what
there's,
Dixie Park
if
is.
it's flat on the eastern side of the canal? It would be nice to have a trail there.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have. a trail.
We'd have to look at it.
Yeah, and that's what we had kind of thought, if we could provide a trail down, it is steeper in this area. But once you get onto town property on the other side, it's pretty flat based on the topo that we have. So if you could kind of come down that hill, not straight down, but kind of along the slope, you know, you could provide a pretty decent trail, I feel like, without a lot of disturbance, you know, it could be a handwork for a trail like that.
Are any of those house lots named or numbered?
Address?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is 44
And we
McKinney.
identify the town property.
Yep, so there's 2 Meadow Drive, which is here, and then 6 Meadow Drive, which is here.
Okay.
It's so that's, yeah, that town pieces between.
Does the gas line go
Yeah, the gas line runs.
through that?
Gas line's on the other side.
Touches partly part of the property.
Part of the town property.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm sorry, across Mechanic and down there.
Other questions from the commission?
No.
Or
Gonna
See the peer review. Again.
or from the audience, Tom?
Yeah, just, I guess a couple, I mean, it would be nice to, you know, I don't know where that trail could go or whatever, but it would be nice to have a couple, 1 or 2 public spots, to be able to access that, that would be great.
Yep.
If you go back to the first page, I was just our neighbor across the street, so the middle detention basin looks like it's now the left to right middle one.
Yep.
I mean, that's right on the line. How do you do that?
Yeah, so that's showing basically what would be the 100-year flood elevation, which you look at for stormwater. So everything captured and infiltrated on site, calculations show that wouldn't spill over on that property. It's confined to this property. And the soils are so good, that's probably conservative.
And you can, I mean, you can put a detention basin close to the line.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real regulation from the line.
And I guess, go ahead.
What I would say is we're not touching the grading over there, we're just meeting that existing grade, that's already an existing depression. The way it is, we're not really reshaping it and just going and creating a new basin, it's really a existing depression that we're just carving out just a little more.
Okay. And then the detention basin along Mechanic Street. Is there gonna be any screening between the road and that?
Yes, so after preliminary discussions with the planning board, one thing came up that, you know, screening along Mechanic Street, which we kind of knew already, but we hadn't thought in detail of it. Since then, I had had my survey guys go and locate individual trees and existing vegetation. There's vegetation that we can keep there. We will have to supplement probably with some plantings just to fill it in.
Okay.
But then, and also a good thing that we're trying to do, you know, cognizant of people on Mechanic Street and neighbors, is trying to keep this area here. So that's going to be a little bit higher, so it's almost going to be a knoll between the road and these units,
Okay.
and we're going to keep that vegetation. So
And our house is right across the street, you know, that
I-
driveway, we had talked.
I do, yeah,
Any
we
discussion?
talked and, you know, we did take a look at that location and came up with reasons in our planning board application why this is the best. And, you know, we certainly recognize your situation, trying to do everything we can, which is part of the reason that we took a hard look at that area and keeping that vegetation.
How much of that, so right where the driveway comes out, it's pretty steep, down to the road in that section, are you taking out part of that?
On this side of the road?
Yeah,
Yeah, some of that would have to be peeled back, as you're probably aware, right off the pavement, some of that.
is that for sight line?
Yeah. Which is part of the reason we wanted to get this on that curve as opposed to here where we're trying to fight that curve. At least now we have the ability to maintain sight distance, not only for the people exiting here, but also for people coming south on Mechanic Street.
It's a bad spot.
Yeah, you're on a curve, and
And
then
then
also
also
you're on a
got-
curve, but the grade jumps up and you have vegetation, so,
Yeah.
you know, we believe that this is the best location even for existing vehicles.
And did you look down below? I mean, at the, southern part of Mechanic Street?
Yeah, we did. So originally we looked at this section, but this section is difficult because it's 8% road. So to put a intersection on an 8% road, it makes it very steep trying to pull out or trying to take a left into it. We did look at coming in down here and, there is more information in the planning board packet. But the grade, the elevation is much lower here. So if we were to come in down here, where it's a flatter road slope, there's no way to put the basin because it would be uphill of the road. This area is floodplain. And then the grade change, you would have to cut this grade 15 feet just to get in there. Whereas we're coming here, we're coming along natural grades using the, existing grades of the site as best we can, not doing more excavation and earthwork than is needed.
Thank you.
Hi. It's Ken Foray. I live at 38 Mechanic Street, which is the lot that abuts the area. I'm a little concerned about the proximity of the driveway to my property line and the comings and goings of a lot more traffic. Can you comment on that, or is it inappropriate at the conservation meeting?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the commission. It's not a conservation issue. I'm happy to answer the question.
We can hear that.
Okay. Yeah, as I was trying to say, this is the best location. With the existing slope of that roadway and then being on the bend for sight distance, not only for vehicles exiting and entering this project, but also, coming along Mechanic Street. Being senior housing, this is very low vehicle trip generation. That information's in the planning board packet. We can dive into that a little more once we get to that board, but that's the rationale. The other reasons I just mentioned, existing road slope on Mechanic Street, the lower elevations at different portions of that frontage. This is the most ideal spot for a number of reasons.
It's a plain work, it's something that you can look at. Too.
But we don't, it's not ours, so.
And maybe will be interested.
Well, we have some, interest from open space perspective that's unrelated to the web. Maybe that we're doing with the regulation.
And
The
the
planning
question,
board packet is online, I believe, on the planning site, if people are interested in looking at that.
Is there any map species or that?
There's
and do you have any questions from people?
If there's anyone else online besides board members and create.
One is, Are you gonna get a variance from the planning board because you're working in the buffer zone that is supposed to surround the entire, development?
No, to my knowledge, no, and that was one of the questions we had asked them preliminarily. They don't specify what work can be done within that 100. The way it's worded, their feeling is that buildings can't be within that 100 foot. They understand that you need to get into the site through a driveway. They were generally okay with that, but
Yeah, I can say the driveway, but I'm wondering about the, detention basin.
yeah,
And then a related question to the detention basin, I think Mary, we need to investigate this. I just was looking at the bylaw really quick, but whether or not the wetland bylaw, allows the detention basin,
To be included in the 10%.
right? Bylaw potentially is more strict than the wetland protection, so we need to review that.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I mean, in reality, I could probably make that calculation. Yeah.
And we talked about last week, we have some concerns about how the riverfront area was calculated, especially related to where the stream becomes a ponded area. And that, I think one of the things we're gonna have our consultant look at very closely.
Yeah, and what I would say, and that's fine, I trust Goddard with what they've done. I had provided Mary, and I don't have them with me, those sketch plans. You can clearly show the kind of kidney bean shape of the pond on GIS and the aerial, and can clearly see where that is. I'm confident that that will be a pretty defined channel, and no question, but if that's the commission's purview to get a peer review, then we should.
Yeah, I think some of the pictures come out in the soil. Do you know what page it goes from?
Yes, starting here, it's towards the end of this document.
Okay.
So you might close that door. Thanks. Oh, no, right. Yeah.
Right, I think in this picture, maybe, thank you. So they delineated the river going all the way through here, I think stopping around there, right?
Correct.
Right, and so my question is, this area obviously floods, and where the mean annual, but there is obviously a channel here, so that's where I thought it was a little bit technical, and that because in other situations where it's kind of like this, I've seen people put the mean annual high water closer to the edge. So I just thought it was worth having checked out.
Yeah, there's a couple things going on. There's the stream, which is the mean annual high water, but then there's also BVW associated with that, and that oftentimes extends, depending on the topography around it, could extend 5 feet, could extend hundreds of feet.
Exactly.
And in this case, it does extend quite far,
Right.
as you can see on these plans, up to the Toa slope. So that, that stream would be within that.
So Mary, is that imagery from the applicant?
Yes.
Okay, we should look at near map,
Yes.
imagery, which is
I have your mouth.
better quality, most likely.
Yeah, this is,
So that document there, just to be clear, was from Goddard Consultant.
right.
Consultant, and then I just included that in.
We have access to near map imagery, which is of the
Yeah.
flows a couple times.
Yeah, I looked at the near map imagery for this area a while back. Like, this is never completely flooded. There's always emergent vegetation there. But the way the law is written, the state law about determining riverine characteristics, it had something to do about whether there's flow in it, as well as I was like, this is just too complicated, I need someone to look at it.
Typically, it would be the top of bank unless you can determine where it spills out otherwise.
Right, but I'm guessing there's probably no bank in here because it's just vegetation.
I think they may be, but they'll have to look at it,
Maybe we're not going to make this determination until snow
Right.
melts. This
Right,
spring.
exactly. Yeah, and it's, as Tom and I were talking, it could be that melt takes a little longer to melt because it's iced. So anyway, that was kind of concerning, and I haven't actually tried to walk out there or look. It's just being there.
Yep.
So,
Are there any beavers there at all, or Have you seen anything or?
I have not personally seen any, I would suspect it's probably.
Yeah, they were, I think there are beavers.
Well, I know there was in the past. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a beaver deceiver towards the highway or whatever. I was just curious if they.
On rush.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I was talking about.
No, you're right, they were in there, I think. They're still in, I know they're across the street now. I think they're there, but I honestly, I guess you're right, I haven't really looked.
Yeah, it was very-
Too many other questions. Any questions?
Someone speaking.
I think.
No, I think that's
they
on
just
background.
need to mute.
Somebody needs
Yeah,
to
they
mute
need- they're not
themselves.
muted.
Yeah,
Okay, so with no other questions right now, should we continue this?
yes.
Yeah.
Here's the near map imagery of this. Better, yeah. So I think this is all like emergent swamp. Yeah,
The parking lights on there?
yes,
Yeah.
so, well, actually,
Yeah, they
I
are.
think that.
They've
that's-
been revised.
It's been right, so this has been, like these lots are cut off from it.
Okay.
And this lot is part, like these two are together, right? Yeah. So the main part of the development, and actually that one too, right?
Yeah,
This
honestly, I don't
is-
know what those parcels are on that plan because they don't, well, I guess they do show up on GIS.
Yeah, so this is where the entry, this is where most of the development is, right?
Right.
And then the riverfront area.
To make sure we give our consultant.
Yeah.
Probably, you can actually give them geo-referenced, someone use their own GIS.
Right,
Could you just zoom into that town property? Is there anything that we could maybe see?
wait, the town property, this is the town property, right?
Yep, that could.
Yeah, I think the stream goes through it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of thick and shrubby, if I remember, right?
The trail would be kind of close to the abutter, if it stayed on that side.
Yeah,
This, on this side,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, I was thinking that it would actually cross the stream and then go to the left of it on the town, yeah, through there. Because that is quite a bit flatter and, you know, if you do some sort of footbridge or something across the streams, I don't think it's terribly wide.
Yeah, about footbridges.
I always hesitate to say that because
perfect.
depends who your audience is.
It's not that big a span, right?
I don't believe.
Banks are pretty steep.
Yeah, the bank going down is especially on this property. What we've done in the past is done like 2 or 3 telephone poles across it and then just build the planks of them. Natural telephone poles, not sprayed.
So, we're gonna continue this. And what we,
Do you wanna wait till, so we have April 8th.
Would it be peer reviewed by then, Mary?
Potentially,
Oh, yeah, even the snow. I'm okay waiting until after plan.
Okay.
It might be more productive.
Yeah, my thought is after the peer review, it might be more productive.
Yeah,
right, yeah, so let's see.
that'll give them an extra 2
The
weeks.
agenda. Yeah.
And Mary, we can have a letter to the planning board available.
Yeah.
By then.
So April 22nd,
What's your meeting of planning board?
April 15th.
14th. We can have a letter by them or not, that. You know, that the commission have a chance to review
Letter from Concom
planning board.
to planning board.
Yeah, and supposedly I'll have peer review for the planning board by then too, so at least I would have that information. Anything that would change there, at least could be shared here.
And Kevin,
Sure, 7 is good.
so it's April 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And so now we have 750, 400, 33 proposed. Those continue. Oh, January 26th.
Yes, so this, they have asked to continue again. And this is where I wish I've somehow lost my agenda below my notes on it, but I think they want to go to next meeting. Do let you know.
Thank you.
Yes, so next meeting, 25th, I think I said, 7:40. 7:40 for 130 South Street. So did we vote to continue, Zero Mechanic officially?
Can we do a motion to vote to continue,
Second.
Those to continue, meeting till April 22nd. And some, yeah. To wait for Chris, I.
Oh, my.
Alan, aye.
Sandy, I.
But not,
Ann and I.
Marcella, I.
Excellent. As a yes for the.
Right, and then to continue 130 South Street to March 25th at 7:40.
How about if we have a motion and a second?
Second,
How about voice for Chris, I.
Oh, my.
Alan, aye.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella,
Bye-bye.
I.
Yeah, let's go.
She sit next to that. Pick him up.
Every now and then.
Okay, so now. That's 48.
Yeah, so 75 Elm Street. He wants to continue to,
Okay,
let me just check again, I lost my notes. I can't remember his name. Patrick. Yeah, he wants April 8th.
okay, bring a motion to continue this one for April 8th.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
so wait for Chris, I.
Oh, my.
Alan, aye.
Sandy, I.
like,
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Excellent, unanimous vote with me to continue this one. And now we have general business, but administrative report.
I'll share this with you. Okay, today I was out at 9 Claflin Farm Road. If you guys remember, this is the lot with the swimming pool that's pretty close to the wetland area. And one of the bounds was missing. And as I was looking more closely at the plans, I'm like, boy, why does the fence just run off the plan like that? So it turns out the fence, part of their fence is on town property. When they did the as-built, they just noted that the fence goes off the property. So we had to notice that it was on town property, but it was pretty obvious as we're laying out where the bound went today that they had more. So hopefully, I talked to John Luberser about this and I emailed the homeowner. Hopefully she's okay with pulling the fence in, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet off the town land.
It's quite a lot.
Well, it's kind of at the widest, it's kind of makes a triangle kind of wedge. See, I think they put the fence in at the street, it's, you know, you can see the lot corner, it's all staked out. And they just went straight back, but the lot line goes diagonal, fortunately, so they cross the town property line. So, but I think that'll be good, you know, we'll get the bound in, and then hopefully this will resolve all the issues. I think they'll have their swimming pool and move the fence. I'll be good. Mike Antonellis had asked me to look at, we keep getting these letters from FEMA, you know, that we're doing all the flood updates, but it turns out when you look at it, and they gave us a list of all the addresses, but when you look at it, none of these updates are current, they're from a long time ago, and they never got approved a long time ago, as far as I could tell. And so there's nothing going on in Upton, so there's nothing to appeal because there are no updates for Upton. But if you think of an update, you can let them know, or if you think of something that you don't like about the flood maps, obviously you can complain. And then met with representatives from, I think, Weston Sampson, and they're doing the DPW expansion, so they have a lot of specific questions about, there's 2 vernal pools back there, and questions about the town bylaw, etc. So they will be submitting, not probably, will be coming within a month or so. I'm not sure when, but they had questions about that. And we finally, since the snow was melting, I finally got the letters for Crosswinds out about to all the people, so hopefully we'll work on the CLCs getting. The letters are to the homeowners asking for a site visit, just saying, we're doing this, we're finally doing it, please schedule. Hopefully we'll get a positive response from that. And I did get out a little bit before the snow melted. People have still been building. Snow. This is 27 James, they're halfway done with that one. I was surprised to see Nine Kiwanis Beach is going gangbusters, even with the snow. And 27 Cider Mill, boy, I think they just started this in November, but they're nearly done. And this is Sawbrook, I can't remember the name, that new one off on South Street. He's got 3 of the houses almost done. And the one that we looked at with the pool, that's this one here, and that's the only one that started. And I just actually got an email from him today. They'll be coming before us for the solar pretty soon. So that's coming down the pike. And that is pretty much it. Except for a few other things are on agendas.
Right. Any question for Mary? Excellent, good job. Now how about our Lauren? Yeah, administrative report. Few minutes.
Hello.
Hey there.
I'll share the minutes first. Let me just pull them up. Oh boy, I'm using a new setup right now, so I have a monitor and I can't figure out if I can share. All right. Here we go. All right, can everyone see this?
Okay. It's a little.
Took a second.
There you go, we got it.
All right, were there any comments or changes on these?
You have any comments?
Yes.
Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Okay, let's do a voice vote, Chris, I.
Aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Michael.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Excellent, advance vote of the commission. Thanks, Sharon.
Okay. Can everyone see the balance sheet now?
Yeah.
Can you make it bigger?
Yes.
That's better. Thank you.
All right, so not much has changed. And here at the bottom, Mary and I talked, we're going to start including the items that everyone votes on, or I guess authorizes money to be spent towards, but that are sometimes forgotten about. So like the Sweet William Farm sign will be on there as an obligation, along with the date that the expense was approved at that amount, just so we all remember. And then let me do the voucher. All right, so there's just one voucher this week for legal ads for $97.
Our services.
Motion to approve the vouchers for $97.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Let's vote, voice vote, Chris, I.
Aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Michael.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Excellent, yes, vote of the commission. And Mary, do you have the full study?
Lauren, did you give me the forms? The voucher to sign?
Nope, I forgot to print it. So,
We'll stand up.
oops.
That's easy then.
Okay. We'll
Can't-
stand. Okay. Anything else, Lauren?
I think that's all from me for now.
How about open space?
I have no updates today.
You, how about land structure?
Stewardship. The Sweetland Farm sign, we're working to get that signed. The price is gonna end up coming in around $1,150. Mary and Linda have been working with, God his name?
Stephen, yeah.
About doing an event about Peppercorn. We'll probably at the community center sometime in April.
So this is Stephen's flyer.
So that's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. And yeah, so April 17th, 6:30. And then there's some back and forth about whether he's gonna do, he was gonna do a follow-up walk. Whether that's gonna be the 18th or the 25th, or maybe if there's a lot of people, but with, you know, cause he's figuring you can only park like, I don't know, 8 cars. Crocker, I don't even know how many cars in Crocker Road. We'll have to come up with a number, but not a huge amount.
Some people maybe a carpool.
Yeah, I think people could.
You can park on the street too.
Yeah, yeah. So we were thinking of having people register. Do you guys had people RSVP for these things before? Not usually.
SVT does.
SVT does, and then you just have them send an email or whatever. Sign
Have
up,
some kind of a reservation system.
right? Like a fancy thing. I just figured we could put an email address on it. He was concerned about being flooded. Obviously, you know, if there's only 10 people, it's not a concern.
He's still gonna do a sign though.
Right, so Libet is meeting with the library trustees tomorrow night. So we can do a silent auction. Libet is super excited about doing it as a raffle. She thinks it's easier. And the silent auction, you have to round the people up, and although I kind of feel like people might put more money down on silent auction, but maybe not. Doesn't matter though. So she's hoping, but we can't sponsor a raffle, but the library board of trustees can. So she's bringing it to them, and if they're willing to sponsor them, then their name will go on this, as well as land stewardship. I think it could be a dual sponsorship. And then we'll do the raffle. And he does not, here's a question for you guys, he did not put down sponsored by blah, blah, blah on this. That he doesn't have a lot of room, but I think it'll go, when we send it out for the town, like newsflash, it'll say that, we'll add that text. But maybe we need to have him put it on there, I don't know, because I don't know whether it has to have that on there. I mean, certainly it'll say it, like if we post it on Facebook, well, I'll add that to the text or whatever.
That looks nice.
Yeah, he did a nice job of it, so.
So if they're having a raffle, the same donations or will they be
Yeah, I
paid for
think so.
more or bigger?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, if a bunch of people said they contribute something, so. Yeah, just. We'll show up for that stuff early, whatever. I think Libba's gonna worry about the tickets and stuff.
Who?
Libba, she's on land stewardship.
Oh, okay.
Libba Moore, you'll meet her if you go. So April 17th. Yeah.
It's his names.
And
Yeah.
that's the update on that.
Excellent.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Mayor.
Great job.
Last thing for land stewardship is, Kyle, the, Gal, who's gonna be building a boardwalk at Peppercorn. He's submitted a request for termination to Mayor, so I think we'll be hearing from him maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's on the next agenda.
So next-
Yeah, next meeting's busy.
That's about it.
Okay, that's good.
What time is the presentation?
6:30.
Okay.
Well, there's one other thing, forget my officers. We've been talking, this is Robinson Family CR. There's a chance that Kathy Robertson may allow a trail to go onto her property. I think I mentioned this before, which would eliminate the need for bridge.
On the driveway or?
Well, let's say as soon as the snow melts, I'll try to get a site visit scheduled and I'll let everyone know what it is so we can walk it and see exactly what she has in mind for bridge truck. There would be right now there's a kind of placeholder article for more bridge funding. On town meeting, CPC would hold a hearing in mid-April for an extra 35,000. But it's possible we won't need that hearing in that article if the trail has been Catherine's property looks good to everybody.
Stay tuned for that one. And then we have zoning bylaw update. Working group.
Lauren, do you want to talk about this?
Yes, I can talk a little bit about this. So I sent a link in my email earlier today to this page on the Upton Town website. And so basically what this is Upton was approved for $70,000 to conduct a zoning bylaw update. And that's from 2 different grants. And the intention is to address issues that were raised during a zoning diagnostic review, which was done by the Central Mass Regional Planning Commission, I think. And so they basically went through our bylaw, made a bunch of edits and suggestions, and this would be a working group that goes through all those edits and doesn't make large policy changes, but just finds the points of confusion and picks the best way to clear them up. So it's not a huge commitment, and we're looking for volunteers to be on that committee or whatever type of board it'll be. I know that the zoning board is pretty well represented in that, but the other groups aren't. So if anyone is interested in, it's mainly planning and zoning focused, not necessarily like conservation bylaw, because that's getting its own review by Mary. But if anyone is interested in planning and zoning and stuff like this and bylaws at all, it would be super helpful for the department, my department, if you could volunteer to be on this. So if you're interested, let me know. And if you want to see what the diagnostic memo looks like and what the suggested edits are, that's on the town's website through the link I sent. And that's it.
Great. Yeah, and I haven't looked at this very carefully, but pull up on these things. from everything. This is the 40B, it's going, has anyone looked at those plans yet?
Whereabouts is that?
Near the gas station.
Across from the gas station? Okay. That area that we were all talking about before. The pond, kind of.
It's right next door to the pond.
Okay.
So they wanna hit it?
So this is a different property,
Oh, okay, sorry.
so that's okay.
We did a wetlands determination.
Yes, we looked at an ANRAD.
Years. And there's, I went to a site visit last fall or something. At least at the time, they said they're going to stay way away from the wetland.
I compare. I don't know, it's one way, it's typical. 40B thing where they are. It's just slowly. See if I can see them. Yeah, so they're 30 feet away. That's not way away.
Yeah, that wasn't the, you didn't fess up to that and that's like,
Yeah, so here's the 50-foot no build zone.
Interesting.
Notice that they are building within the 50, of course, they don't have to follow the bylaw. Try to get this more centered so you can see what it
but it looks like more units.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of units. How much?
Stuff to be
7,
more.
7, 5 and 8. It's 27 units or something like that. So it's a big little project for. That's going to make a huge change to that little section of 140. Right. That's a big deal.
So is this going to be cleaning else?
Well, it doesn't go through planning because it's a 40B. So it's going through zoning. So zoning hears all the comments. They will do a notice of intent because of the wetlands. So, but they only have to follow the state regs, not our town regs.
So I just wondered if there was, looks like a lot of place, a lot of homes in a small
Very
area.
dense,
And
yes.
I'm wondering, if there's any playground or open space or.
Right. Great
Does it
question.
look like
Playground.
anything?
Yeah, they need a playground. They need a community garden, right?
Well, they need, they're gonna live there.
Yeah.
And what are they doing for stormwater? Is it underground? What's-
Oh, yeah, stormwater. Well, there's a basin
Yeah,
here.
you show us
So that's
some
subspace.
There's a basin here. There's a basin there.
There's an open space there on the lower left there.
This is, well, it's huge wetland. The
Oh, that's a
wetlands,
wetland?
this is all wetland here.
Alright.
It's actually a very nice little wetland considering it's right on 140. There's an old little bridge and it's lovely, full of skunk cabbage. Nice wetland.
Outdoor classroom.
That and the fact that actually from 140, when I was looking at the wetland, there is sand all the way down here in the wetland. So that's
That ought to be cleaned up.
yeah, maybe we can get them on that. Oh. I'll look at that again. But that we can do under our own wetland review. So,
Are
but
those condos or apartments or housing units, what are they?
oh yeah, they have a rendering. Actually,
I don't need a picture, just wondered.
They're gonna be tall.
they're tall.
They're
Yeah.
gonna be tall, multi-story.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed this. Doesn't look like much parking either, if those are multi-stories, that's the plan, well, they're not going to plan.
we have a, formula for the parking tab.
Yeah, here they are. So these are big.
Oh, wow.
This is huge. And I even like, I was looking at one of the plans. You can see the plans. They got 4 bathrooms.
Wow, any fun.
Yeah, because there's like one, anyway, that's aside from the point. There's one on the first floor, like 2 on the 3rd floor and 1 on, because they're 3-story, so.
Each apartment or each condo.
So are they apartments, one above another, or those?
No, this is 1 unit, so these are condos, so it's like a 3-story condo. Yes, they're big.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
So it's more like luxury.
Yeah, that's what I was like, how is this affordable? I mean, I don't know. So,
Do a certain number that might be more affordable for all of them.
a certain number, so I don't know that. And I don't know how they determine how big they are or whatever.
Little as possible.
Yeah, so there's garages.
I was saying, I'm sure they have garage.
I think they have to get, like, the height is, they're only allowed 2.5 stories, but they might get away from that because of the, they don't have to follow the zoning.
They'll be underground. You know, like when you walk
Right.
in, you could split levels. With an extra level. Wow. When is that coming?
When is that?
I remember the site visit, they did mention, maybe they could do a trail along the wetlands, along the open space. But I think more open space has been utilized here maybe than the original thought was, because there's not much room there to
There's no.
that really should room for a trail anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so. And back here, you got somebody's house, like,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that, what's the
yeah, the neighbors are
the
getting.
buffer
Oh,
between?
look at
them
these, look at this house.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, let's see if things again. That's, Henderson. No, not that one. Oh, Dick Henderson's right here. Oh, yeah.
It seems similar to the project that they're proposing for Woodton.
Have they torn down the houses there?
They might have,
Yeah, they were planning to do it soon.
yeah.
There were a couple of abandoned houses on
Right,
property.
they were like right in here. I looked at those. I looked at the wetland delineation, but they were well far away from the wetlands, so there wasn't much I could do. Yeah, I guess the one comment, I can't remember if the buffer zone from that BBW might get onto here or not, probably not. The full BBW.
So are they coming to us or they already?
They haven't submitted yet.
Okay,
But they're before zoning board right now, and now if we have comments as a Concom, and I can put a draft together. But if anyone, obviously we can complain about the fact that they're very close to wetland and not compliant with our.
looks like it will be strictly for commuters.
Yeah, and then they're all gonna drive past my house now.
I got a senior center across from me, so
Yeah. That's right.
it'll be quieter. And the hearing aids, so they don't have to shout.
So where's all the sand coming from? That's going to the wetland. Is there a culvert? For the culvert, that's
Call us by
Discharging
gas
it.
station.
Yeah.
probably say something about that. So it's a state culvert, that is the.
Yeah, and so that one's gonna be replaced. That's slated to be replaced.
Okay.
Um,
That's good. Maybe we
yeah.
can ask for a little bit of restoration.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be good.
How does that affect like the Upton's on the hook for like housing for MBTA access or whatever, is that?
Is this gonna help get us, push us over? I don't think it's gonna
Does
push us
this,
over.
this does this add into that or?
Just
It should
affordable
help.
housing or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know affordable, but I didn't know if it,
Yeah, I
if
think
it
that's.
went towards that as well.
You know,
I'm
That's
just
a good-
curious.
question. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we're building more non-affordable housing than affordable.
Affordable with 4 bathrooms.
I think we,
But it's only some unit, like it's not the whole
right.
thing.
Yeah, the affordable unit's probably like my house.
No, it's supposed to be similar, I think.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's only a percentage of.
These aren't gonna be rentals, these are gonna be owner, right?
That's
I'm thinking like-
because Lobister often does the rental model.
Right, and then, I don't know the rules, but was that rental 40B, did all the units go towards? the
It's only a certain percent. Oh, do all of them go towards it?
Yeah, I thought it did for the,
I'm not sure. I don't know that it, I think,
for the Main Street one that was approved, I thought.
okay, that's a good question. Do all units go toward
It's,
lowering our number, right?
yeah, it's just it's not really a conservation issue, but I thought that was the case there. But it might be different here, because these look to me like they're gonna be owner occupied.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get to the 10%.
I know.
I mean, it's been how many years, it's been talked about, and I think it's like 6 or 8% every time I hear it, so.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with?
We have to be working towards it. We need more of those, what do you call them, ADLs of in-law apartments.
Right, yeah, and
That's
those
what
are
we really
those are
need.
being built for sure.
I think
Yeah.
that would go to getting us close to the
Yeah.
percentage.
To give Mary one more comments after we look at this.
Yeah, if you guys want to take a look at this on your own, it's on the ZBA webpage, and I think I may have emailed it around. I can do that again now.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Next, we have Forest Heights update.
Okay, there was a meeting between SVT, Renacom and Town Council. And Town Council has finally kind of gotten engaged with this a little bit. They've reached out to the attorney for the restriction holders. And last I heard, so like late last week, the restriction holder wasn't able to contact them. The attorney had trouble contacting the restriction holder. One of the restriction holders passed away. And another one's still living in Florida. And that's the last I know, they haven't made contact yet. We did, Medcom and SVT, we did a little online searching and found contact information for restriction holder. I think we live in Florida, and 2 of the kids of the restriction holder that passed away, they both still live in Massachusetts. So we passed that on to Town Council, I was gonna pass it on. The attorney for restriction. So stay tuned. We also, good news is we did get approval for local signatures for the CO state. I think we're recommending, we don't have to rush into a signature and can just hold that for a while. Till we get further down the road on this title issue. Probably soon, we're gonna, try to brief the DCS granting authority about this title issue. They know there's a title problem, but we haven't explained in detail because we kind of were hoping that we'd have an answer. But right now we don't have an answer, so. Thank you.
So stay tuned. Mary did Peppercorn fundraiser, stormwater warrant article.
Right, so it's not too many changes, it's basically changing the numbers. And then adding this clause, if you remember it, right here, or going directly or indirectly into a water course or to the waters of the Commonwealth, because before it just said any land that drains to the municipal stormwater system, which actually is a very big area. And we had discussed with the consultant, said, oh yeah, we were supposed to add this clause like it is in Article 2. They just forgot to add it, so I'm putting it in there, and that means it applies to the whole town. Which makes it much simpler for reviewing applications. So adding that, and then the numbers that we discussed. I actually don't remember if we agreed on 5,000, so this is the lower threshold. Instead of 1,500 square feet, it would be 5,000, so, but this is what we used to have in our old stormwater bylaw, was 5,000 for that lower threshold. And we agreed to go up to an acre. And then we added, these two things we added. Impervious surfaces more than 50% of the lot, when the lot size is greater than 1 acre, so that would trigger it as well. And then land with steep slopes, if it's 10,000 feet of 15% slopes, that would trigger it. And I did call another town to say, so how do you actually check that? And she's like, well, we often, our peer review often check it, but really we just make the engineers, they got to figure it out anyway. I think they have to look at the slopes, so we just ask them to provide information. So that's that.
Any questions?
That's
Yeah,
mainly
lots
it.
of work.
And then in the regs, it's similar. Same thing. The other thing in the regs is that I'm gonna ask the lawyer about is all the inspections, whether we can word it somehow that we don't have to do all the inspections, because it's a lot of inspections. So here we go. Here's all the inspections they want. 9 inspections during the project. And it occurred to me that these 4 are the most important. But I was asking the lawyer, is there any way that we can say that we could require these additional ones if they're needed? If it's a really big project and we want to hire someone to do the inspections anyway, we might want to do all of them. I don't know, but some way to make that optional instead of required. Or maybe we're just gonna get rid of them and say it's ridiculous.
People have to do the inspections.
Right, yeah, so I it's been me.
Right, it's gonna say,
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But
know.
if it's a bigger site, we might have, just like we have for that project that's in Mendon,
Yeah.
the engineer sends me a report.
Wording that makes it flexible for you.
Right, exactly, so lawyer's looking at it, but that's pretty much it, so I think it's ready, once the lawyer looks at it, we're gonna do a public hearing on it. I think in April, we have to advertise for that, and then we'll just. Good. That's not,
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's everything.
It's one thing I wanted to talk about. It's not on the agenda, but it's the Fowler Street vernal pool.
oh, right, yes, and Lauren did put it in the packet,
Okay, could you call up the map?
yes, let's see. So there's, yes,
So anyway, mostly private limited. There's this very productive vernal pool kind of right on Fowler Street, right at that bend. Years past, maybe not so recently, but years past, we did monitoring there and helped salamanders and wood frogs get across the road. There's blue spot salamanders there that I've been seen there, as well as yellow spotted, string peepers, wood frogs. Real productive, and at times there's been a lot of mortality noted. So this year, I was just wondering if the commission could ask the DPW to put up a couple of barriers on Big Night. Basically, it'd have a sign that said local traffic only. There's only like 6 houses on this stretch of road. And And based, years past when we've been monitoring, a lot of traffic does go through this. And it's kind of like a cut through.
Yeah.
So there's way more than 6 cars, that we would encounter. So anyway, I'm just asking if the commission would like to do that. I think if we could get the barriers installed, I would, like put up like a little vernal pool sign, like crossing sign, so people would know why the barriers are there. It might be more than one night. Big night can sometimes be stretched out a few nights. Anyway, just,
I think that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
how do we tell them when to do it?
there'd have to be communication with them, we'd have to like, take a guess, it's gonna be raining hard, warm enough. Anytime from now on, once the snow is gone, if it's warm enough, we could have a big night.
Could be Monday, right? Like supposed to get 90%, right?
Mm.
So we'll put the barriers up,
Well,
the highway department.
I think the highway department would. One question I had, if they could at least stage the barriers there.
Yeah.
And then if we made the determination that big night was happening, we could move the barrier in such a way that, a car could pass a lot by it, but the signage would be there. So. Other towns do this. It's not an original idea.
Is this the only spot in town that's so vulnerable?
I think there are others, but this is a very vulnerable spot. And then this is Tom, maybe you can help me out. I don't know if there's any other blue spot populations that we know of in town. Might be the only one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that they're, but
Tom, you were the one who found it.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I do have some records from, I think I still have them from a number of years ago. And I did talk to Heritage and asked if they wanted any of the records, and they didn't seem to need them or whatever. I mean, they knew that they were there, and they knew it was a good site. So, and it was, I mean, there's can be a lot of carnage there. I think I went there before a town meeting. It was like early. I mean, it was just like dusk, and I think I don't know, maybe I went to an open space or Concom meeting. I got back early, I think, but there were already like 50 dead wood fronts. I mean, it was just awful, just how it just happened to be right at the time where people were coming home, and it was raining good enough and it was dark enough, and so there were just so many of them.
I think that people are using that as a cutthroat. They probably are speeding and not paying much attention.
And you can't see them, if there's just a few of them, it's so dark to be able to see them, so it can be tough if they're not mopping.
A lot of turtles get killed there too.
Yeah, spotted turtles.
A lot of turtles get whacked there.
I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know Bill, are you still on by any chance? Or DPW?
I can get him on. Hey, Bill. Your advice, your thoughts are required here. They want to talk to you. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
And here's Bill.
Hey, Bill, Mike here.
Yep.
We're discussing whether or not we could ask the DPW to put up some traffic control barriers on Fowler Street for Big Night to
I'm
protect
sure
the
they would do it. You need to check with the police department first.
police first. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If the police approve it, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All righty. Well, if the commission votes to do it, that's what we'll do. Okay, thanks.
We have a motion to make the proposal to the police and then the DPW, but barriers up and signs, big night.
Motion to contact the Upford Police Department to see if they will allow us and the DPW to erect barriers for big night or nights.
Give a second.
Second.
Mr. Weisfeld, Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
My God.
Marcella, I.
Shannon, I see your hand up. Shannon, do you have a question?
Oh, I need to promote her pen. Sorry, Shannon.
Thank you, Mary. Shannon and I.
Shannon,
So Mary, can you get a request?
Yeah,
To
you
the
can.
police department and probably like really soon, because
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we-
some people were wondering if even tonight, but that's not raining.
thank you very much, and there's still probably very much snow cover.
Nice one, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the ponds might be iced.
Yeah.
and
Do you think
Yes,
the
yeah.
salamanders know that the ponds are iced?
No, I think they brought the, oh crap. It's nice to here, but,
Yeah.
all right, well, let me know, and
Okay.
then, I'm willing to help out here. The other thing I wanted to ask is, if I was gonna, there are some like, signs online that you can get the PDF. And, I was wondering, you know, if I spent a few bucks printing and laminating those, if not, that's all right.
Yeah.
Those go staples. And then we can attach those to the barrier so people understand.
do you have a motion to approve, like, spend money, print out the, signs and laminate them at symbols.
I'll say $30.
Second,
So Weisfeld, Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
You might not.
Marcella, I.
Shannon and I.
That's a unanimous vote of the commission.
You done?
This needs to be signed. This is the Ecotech proposal. Okay, you should sign it.
We need to vote on that?
Yeah, maybe we do. So it's $2,800. And do we want to ask him to come to one meeting? So yes, I think we do. Another 160 today.
Does that come in person or can it be
He can be,
virtual?
I think he would, it says, what does it say here? Virtual or in person. Okay, decide what we want.
Do you have a motion to sign? Okay, Ecotech.
Second,
So Weisfeld, Chris, I.
Tom,
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
My God.
Shannon and I.
Marcella, I.
And unanimous vote of the commission.
Marcella, is Bill still there?
Yeah.
Bill? Sandy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear ya.
What's up?
I wonder if, the DPW has thought about, the beaver,
well, the beaver issue.
the beaver issue on Mechanic Street and Fowler. It's clogged again.
All right. Well, we'll have somebody drive by and take a look and figure out what the next steps are.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, thank you.
Do we have anything else?
Only that has done.
Not otherwise. Just,
They're not going to the department.
No, whatever, I didn't wanna say.
I forgot to remind people that Shannon can't do Earth Day this year, just, I'm not sure that anybody else wants to do it either, but just to state that.
okay,
Yeah, I tried to get somebody to do it, but she can't either, so, if there's anybody
Oh,
interested. Just, let them scream and let us know.
so how about free and everything?
We'll wait for that on for the next meeting.
yeah, baseball.
Okay,
You
anything
could put
else?
a request out on the website or something.
You're
Facebook.
Sure.
Or something.
Yeah, I can do that.
drum up some interest, somebody might,
Someone might pick it up.
The motion to adjourn,
So moved, second.
favor.
Aye.